Hey guys, thanks again for tuning in. Today we're going to take a look at the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Series number 1 Deadpool action figure. And here is the packaging for Revoltech Deadpool. Very nice, colourful, comic style artwork. Nice photo of the figure on this side. Series number 1 Deadpool from the comic series of Revoltech. Nice big window in the front, you can see the figure inside and all the accessories laid out. Image of the figure on the side, and more comic style illustrations and photography and artwork, which is really lovely. And on this side, comic style images. On the top, we've got Deadpool there and amazing Yamaguchi powered by Revoltech. And on the bottom, got some warning labels and company information, etc. And here is the inside of the packaging. Everything's laid out nicely. You can see even more accessories now. And on the back, you actually get this wonderful backing card with a Deadpool illustration on it, which looks really cool. He comes with a ground impact effect part to make his poses look more dynamic, and they kind of just plug into the bottom of his feet like this. And he also comes with, if I can just get him to stand, yep, he comes with an extra headpiece. So the sculpt of this one is slightly different to the one that he comes packed with. The one he comes packed with doesn't quite have the same mouth sculpt. Don't know if you can see that. I mean, other than that, it's very much the same head sculpt apart from the mouth, as far as I can tell. And these eyepieces, they all pop out, which I will show you later as well. And speaking of the eyepieces, they come packed in like a little plastic tray. So he comes with an assortment of different expressions, which I will show you in more detail in a minute. And this little red piece is used to poke the eyes out, so you can replace them in the head. And he comes with a pair of thumbs up hands, nicely sculpted, nicely painted. A pair of open palm grasping hands, and a pair of weapon holding hands. So what they've done here, which I think is quite smart, is actually to make a pair of hands that fit both the katanas and the guns. So the katanas simply slip on like so, and it fits very well. And the guns are very nicely sculpted, very nicely detailed, and they go in like so and fit into the hands very nicely as well. So that's kind of smart how they've kind of made one set of hands to hold both weapons. And just going back to the swords, they are very nicely designed, nicely painted, lovely and glossy silver for the metal parts, which is good. And then he also comes with his sheath with the fake handles, fake sword handles, which I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like fake holsters and fake sheaths, but that's what this Deadpool comes with, and that just plugs onto the back of Deadpool. And there is 3 holes. Apparently you just choose the one that you like, choose the position that you like, and you just plug the sheaths in. So that's that. And he also comes with a display stand. So this is a major departure from what Revoltech used to give us in terms of display stands, and this is more like a regular Figma or Mafex style stand. It's got the 2 arms that you can adjust the tightness with screws, and then there's also a grabby hand up here, which is quite useful. Right, so to swap his hand, it's fairly simple. Just pull the hand out and stick it in, and it fits really nicely. And here's a closer look at the two heads that comes with Deadpool. So they're very similar. If you look past the fact that you can change the eyes on both heads, the only difference being the mouth sculpt here, sort of like a frowny face. Speaking of changing eyes, here are the extra eyes that he comes with. Love heart eyes, serious squinting eyes, and serious fighting eyes, I think. And to swap the eyes over, you use this stick and you poke the black dots there to free the eyes, and it looks like that from the front. And here he is with love heart eyes. Here he is with the squinty eyes. Pretty nice head sculpt. I do feel like the face is a little bit narrow. It kind of feels like it's pinching in towards the front. But I know Yamaguchi does things a little bit stylized, so that's okay. Really nice muscular sculpt detail on the neck, and nice fabric sculpt detail on the chest, in the crotch area. Nice musculature sculpt detail on the thighs. Lots of nice little pouches on the figure. Unfortunately, the gun holsters here, they're all fake, so I'm not a big fan of that, but it does make the figure look nice. Would have been nice if they were real holsters, like how Marvel Legends did their Deadpool. Nice armor detail on the shins. Nice strap detail on the forearms. So this guy has a lot of nice sculpting detail. He is very stylized, but that's what Revoltech's kind of known for. Starting from the head, you can tilt his head up quite high and down not too bad, pretty much looking kind of down towards his feet. And then he's got kind of a weird double jointed shoulder system, so he can lift his arms up that far. But if you fold it down without folding the double joint, he'll look really awkward. So you gotta fold that back down like that. And there is no bicep swivel, but you can kind of turn this joint inside. It is a little bit tight at the moment, but you can turn it to give him a little bit of bicep swivel there. Single Revoltech joint for the elbows, but it gives him a really good range there. Fortunately, it leaves a bit of a gap on the underside. And again, single Revoltech joint for the wrist. And there's a big, there is a big Revoltech joint in the body. Let me just put him together, and that plugs into the hips. And his pouches on the side, they're on Revoltech joint as well, so you can move these out of the way. You can even unplug them if you want a cleaner look for Deadpool. And the thigh is on a big ball joint, which I'm very happy about, so no more Revoltech joints for the thighs. So it gives him this much forward kicking, this much backwards kicking, and he can also do this much of a split. And there is a thigh swivel there, pretty well hidden in the sculpt, which is cool. But It also means that this part is prone to scratching, so I've already got a scratch there from the parts rubbing up against each other. Same on the other side. But it is very well hidden. Single Revoltech joint for the knee. You can hear that ratchet going, and it's pretty good bend. And then single Revoltech joint for the ankles, which means you can also do side to side ankle rocker because it's going in at an angle. And he's got a standard hinge toe joint. First up we have Marvel Legends X-Men Wave Deadpool, and here he is with Toy Biz Series 6 Deadpool. And here he is with Marvel Legends X-Force Deadpool. And here he is with Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. And here he is with SH Figuarts Captain America. I'm still a little bit on the fence about this guy. I mean, there are some really nice things I like about him, and then there are some things that I don't really like about him. The first thing that comes to mind is the fake weapon storage system. So I'm not a fan of that at all. And these fake holsters for the guns, not a big fan of that. And this knife doesn't even pull out. So that's a down for me, that's a minus for me. One good thing about it is I actually quite like the sculpt. Really nice detail on the folds of the suit and also the musculature. And the paint job is very clean on this figure, so that's another plus. Going back to a negative point, not a big fan of these Revoltech joints. The shoulders look kind of awkward, and they do kind of pop out if you don't, you know, sometimes if you're playing with it or posing it, they do kind of pop out. And then trying to align these little ratchet joints can be a bit of a pain sometimes, and even to get him standing in like a neutral pose is nearly impossible. So this guy is great for dynamic posing, but if you want him to pose in a very neutral stance, it's kind of difficult to line up all the Revoltech joints. I am glad that they went to a standard ball joint for the hips. Overall, yeah, it's a decent toy. It's quite fun to pose, and I really do like the accessories that it comes with. Very nicely detailed gun, very nicely detailed sword. The only thing is I don't really know where this guy fits into my collection. I mean, he doesn't quite go with the Marvel Legends aesthetic, and he doesn't quite go with my SH Figuarts stuff. So he might have to be a standalone figure for the time being. So right at the end of my review session, this happens. The fake sword has snapped from the peg. I think the figure fell down because it wasn't very stable on its own, and it just snapped. So be careful when you've got these fake swords in the sheath. Don't let the figure fall down on its back, because this will happen. And that concludes my review of the Revoltech Deadpool action figure. So thanks again for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.